What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's been a great day. It's early in the morning. My buddy hit me up late last night saying he wants to come over and install a lift on his truck. Actually, we just installed a lift on his truck like last year, I think. He installed I think a 2-inch lift. So now he wants a 3-inch lift and a 1-inch block in the rear. So he's thinking about going with like 35s or a bigger tire. So he can't fit that with the 2-inch lift that we installed before. So we're going with a 3-inch lift and a 1-inch block in the back. So he's gonna come over here right now. I gotta clean the garage out. I got a mess. I gotta move this thing out of the way. So it's early in the morning and I don't want to wake up with my neighbors. So I might just have to push it out and just push it out into the street for now. I was gonna push it right here, but my wife's Highlander's in the way. So probably just push it out here a little bit. Anyways, yeah, so he's gonna come over and install a lift. Shouldn't be too bad. I think it's a Motorfab 3-inch lift. I think that's what he said it was. So we'll find out when he comes over. I'm still trying to wake up, so I'm kind of cleaning up the garage to have him come over. So yeah, let's see what he brings over and let's put it on. Motorfab, what? Control arms? What are these? Right? Motorfab. These are supposed to give you the proper angle on the ball joint when you go to a 3-inch spacer like this. So, install these on top. And 1-inch or 2-inch in the back?
It's 1 inch.
1 inch. And right now it's stock.
Stock in the back.
Stock in the back, and we have a 2-inch in the front. So we got to remove the 2-inch block off the bottom to install the 3-inch on top. So let's go ahead and take the wheel tire off first. Alright, you got the wheel off. We're gonna take off the tie rod in, which is 13/16. We're gonna loosen up the control arm, get the control arm loose. We're gonna pull off the caliper and let that hang off the frame. Don't let it hang by its hose. 13. Okay. Tool, Harbor Freight. Buy it at Amazon. Amazon tool. Must have. Some liquid juice on it. No, I think it's gonna come out today. Oh. Is that you or me?
No, me.
Alright, once you loosen this up, we can go ahead and hit the knuckle with the hammer to loosen the control arm from the knuckle. And I'm gonna leave the nut on just a little bit so it doesn't slap up and hit us in the face. So. Alright, press down the control arm and take our nut off. Okay. What we got left now is to remove the top 18mm nuts. Normally you can use like a gear wrench and just take these off, but we're gonna go through the top of the truck and they're actually right here. So we're gonna be using a longer extension with the 18mm socket on there to release those from the top. Makes it a little bit easier and a little bit faster. All right, so we're gonna just pry down the control arm, get the strut out of there, and then we'll go ahead and loosen up the upper control arms. All right, Tony, show what you got. So you can actually go up and then down. There you go. And then sneak it through this big old gaping hole right here. And there she goes. Ready for the new shit. No, so I'm gonna show you guys a trick on adjusting this. So we're supposed to adjust this before we go back in, but we found out we can't do that. They make it look really easy on YouTube, but it's not that easy. We've attempted it on the other side and we couldn't do it. So I'm gonna show you guys how to get by that part. Right now, what else? I need to get a marker, and I'm gonna actually mark the upper control arm to its current location. So we gotta remove the control arm on this one, and I'm gonna mark it right here, so I know this goes back in the same spot. So that when it goes in the line machine, it's not way out of whack. So mark these and put this in the same spot. All right, and these are also 13/16. Nuts and spacer, because they're gonna go back in the same spot.
I need you to tighten it for measurement strength.
Out with the old.
Oh my goodness.
And we're tightening up. What are you doing? Woody. Oh, it's tight. This motherfucker's tight.
That guy was loose.
Alright, so these go. What are those? This is the new top bolts, so they go into the top or the bottom.
And then the nuts.
Then let's go through here. Okay, that makes sense. That's how you know which is top and bottom. And it uses a what is this? 8mm Allen that is not supplied in the kit. This kit, how much does this kit cost?
124 and some change.
$124 for the kit? That's just for the blocks though, right?
Blocks and the rear.
And the rear 1-inch lift, which we still have to do. But the control arms were separate from the kit. But it was
separate.
The control arms are separate, but it's recommended with this kit that you should purchase it, right?
Yeah.
And the control arms, these were
282 and some change.
282. Okay, not bad. I definitely recommend the control arms because compared to my knee, you can tell there's a big difference in size and diameter as well. So these look nicer too. These already come pre-greased too, so don't grease them, or you're gonna bust the boot out with some grease. All right, that's going on top of the strut, and it comes with nuts. Let me go get the nuts. I got them right here. 17 millimeter nuts. Go 1, 2, 3. Yep, same with the truck. Okay, it's out. All right, that's ready. So initially, what's gonna happen, guys, is this used to be the front of the strut here. Okay, so this is where the original bolt was. So that was gonna go into here, lining up the strut. But now that we put the spacer on top, it rotates this 180 degrees, which is fine, but this will go in the top. But what's gonna happen is this won't line up now with the bottom. So I'll show you right now what happens is this is actually like this, and now that we rotate it, it's the opposite way. So you're supposed to put this in a vise and you're supposed to be able to turn this, but what we found out on the other side is like it's impossible. We greased it up, we lubed it up, and we tried on the vise. We broke my vise. Basically broke my vise. We couldn't get this to turn. Yeah, we couldn't get this to turn at all. So there's no way anyone else is gonna be able to do this with, without a vise. So well, I'll show you guys right now what we did and how to figure that out. You don't need to turn it at all. What I'm gonna do now is go ahead and put the controller in, the new one, and get ready to install the strut. All right, I'm gonna use a rubber mallet. Get this lined up. Now you just don't want to tighten this too tight right now. Just snug it up because we need to install the strut. Don't lose track.
Come on, baby.
Oh, you got it. Okay, now go. Okay. Wait. Okay. Alright guys, so we get the strut in very easily. Alright guys, now we get the strut in. I'm gonna go ahead and just put one nut on top to hold it for us in place. But here's the part that's gonna get everybody when installing this kit. So as you guys can see, I don't know if you can tell or not, but this needs to be flat like this, so when the bolt goes through it lines up with this. But right now what's gonna happen is it's cocked at a different angle. So this control arm is like this, but the strut is not. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go ahead and not put on these, the quick, the fuck you call these, whatever these are, these clips, not going on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get some nylon nuts that actually fit these, the original bolts, and we're gonna use the nuts and the bolt to go ahead and straighten the strut out for us. So right now I'm gonna show you, we're gonna go ahead and pry the control arm, and this is the bolt is actually not gonna be able to go all the way through, but once you get it lined up enough into the hole of the strut, we're gonna put a 15mm socket on here, and we're gonna just go forward and it'll drill itself through, and it won't mess up the threads at all. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just put the bolt into the bottom, and it's not going to line up with the strut obviously, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my impact to go ahead and just drive it through the top of the strut like so. Don't worry, it's not cross-threaded, it's not nothing. The nut still goes on down. Once we tighten this down, what's going to happen is once we tighten the bolt and the nut down, it's going to actually twist this for us versus us trying to twist it in device. So it's going to save us a lot of time, a lot of headaches. The other side, like I said, we struggle for like 20 minutes trying to get that to turn. There's no way, that bushing is so tight. We used penetrating fluid, device, man strength, and couldn't get it. So yeah. Okay. So as you can tell, by tightening the bolt and the nut, it actually straightened out our lower strut. So we're good to go. Now we can just go ahead and go back into place. We can go ahead and raise our control arm with our jack and put our control arm through the knuckle and reverse our steps, and we are good to go. We want to make sure that we put everything back in the same order. Caliper back on. We tightened up the control arm, put the new castle nut and a cotter pin through there. In the kit, there is a hole in the upper control arm, and that hole is for a new Allen bolt that comes in the kit to hold the brake caliper bracket or the brake line bracket down. You don't use the existing one. You could, but you get a shiny stainless steel Allen there. I went ahead and tightened down the control arms, snuck that back in the same spot. That way when he goes to an alignment shop, they can go ahead and adjust it where they need to. And that is it. We're ready to put the wheel and tire back on and lower this back down. Super simple, nothing crazy. We are moving on to the back now. The back is a 1-inch lifting blocks. You could do both at the same time, but I don't recommend it. I recommend just doing one side at a time. He ended up getting, I think this is it. Might be the kit here. Same thing from Motorfab. I believe this is it. Yes. 1-inch. God damn. These are 1-inch spacers?
Yeah.
Damn. New U-bolts. 1-inch spacer. Hardware. Pretty simple. Let's get to the back. Alright guys, we're gonna do the 1-inch block. Here we're gonna support the axle with the jack, support the truck with the jack stands. and we do one side at a time. I'm gonna go ahead and release the lower shock bolts, which is 13/16, and unbolt the U-bolts, which are also 13/16 as well. All right, U-bolts out. We are gonna have to reuse brackets to keep this handy. U-bolts you can scrap because these are not going to be long enough. And if it's too tight to pull out the bolt, you need to lower the axle, kind of take a little bit of the tension out. Slowly lower the axle.
Interesting.
Alright, and now we can go ahead and lower our jack a little bit more. Nice and slow. Take our spacer off, grab our new one, and that's it. Go back up, line up our dowels. So might have a little trouble lining up the dowels to the dowel on the leaf spring to the lower of the new spacer here. So what you can do is you can get a hammer and just force it in there. Got it. Now we take our new U-bolts. Go ahead and put them in. U-bolt slide into the top. Grab our bracket. I don't know, guys, put it in the comments down below. Do you think it's easier to do both at the same time or one at a time? I figured it'd be one at a time be easier since you're not fighting the whole axle being loose and it shifting around on you. At least one side at least being held in place for us. That's my thought process. I don't know. Maybe you guys have better luck with both. I would think if both were loose, it'd be harder to really manhandle the whole axle on the truck. If you guys have a better way to do it, let me know. Next time I want to do it. Hopefully this is the last time Tony decides to lift this truck. Need more? Need more? Oh, that's different size. Hold on. So this size is actually a 7/8, and the original ones were 13/16. All right, we are done with the back. Go ahead and drop her. Oh, dang.
Yeah.
That's soft. Yeah, that's soft.
Oh yeah.
Slippery.
Are the new wheels and tires gonna be offset more, or like a more aggressive look, or is it like the same offset?
It should be slightly more aggressive.
Let's take a measuring tape real quick and measure for you guys. These are, do you know these tires are the ones that come stock on the truck, the size?
I thought they were like 265, 50s or something.
So these are actually 275, 55. And the door says this truck came with 275, 55. So it's the same size. All right, so with the stock wheels and tires, 3 inches in the front, we are sitting at about 40.5 inches between the ground and the top of the wheel well. And on the rear, we are sitting at 40 inches. So if you guys want to go measure your truck and take these measurements, that's what the 3 inch in the front and the 1 inch in the back going to give you. We're at Tony's house, and he ended up putting on 33 by 12.5 by 20s. And these are, what kind of wheels are these? These are Wicked Extreme Off-Road. But yeah, it looks good. But he ended up actually having to add a 2-inch space in the back because he said it was still sagging once he put these wheels on. Actually, once it settled, right? It looked like he showed me his pictures. It looks like it was definitely sagging in the back with the 3-inch space on top. So he actually had to go up to a 2-inch space or block in the back to make it look level how it is now. So if you guys are wondering, in the kit, don't go for the 1-inch or else it's going to be sagging. Go ahead. And do they sell it with the 2-inch or no? Just,
yeah, they do.
Okay, so I would go ahead and just upgrade to the 2-inch because it's going to sag. You're going to be having the California lean. What do they call that?
Yeah, the Cali lean.
The Cali lean, yeah. Unless you want that, they go for the 1-inch spacer, but it looks good. It looks really good like that.